after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move out to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Shama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shamagari Mataji, Dandas Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna Yashamati Mataji, Dandas Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Nice background, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Bhagavata. All glories to Sri Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Pralvrinda, Dandas Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call and doing very nice chanting, Balvrinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandas Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, Dandas Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanna Pranam. This is Ram Rup Gopal Das from Qatar.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandas Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. I didn't get your name, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
My name is Mataji Ram Rup Gopal Das.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Is anybody else would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Aksak from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Arvind Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda from Atlanta, Paniyati Dham.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gupta Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Can we start recording, Mataji? I think Prabhuji is on the call. Hare Krishna, dear devotee, welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Rasamrita Prabhuji. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, chapter 2, verses 23 to 30. Before diving into the call, I'll hand out the call to Sureshwar Shyam Prabhu to give brief introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Here is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Rasamrita Das is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Prabhuji has completed CA, CS, CAMS, certified and working in an international bank. Prabhuji got introduced to ISKCON in 1994 by the influence of His Grace Devamruta Prabhu, now His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, when he came to deliver a talk in his college. Currently, Prabhuji stays in Abu Dhabi, assisting congregational development programs, serves Bhakti Vriksha classes, and assists in organizing various spiritual events, festivals for the congregation. He is a Yatra group coordinator for the Middle East region for annual Kartik Yatras of Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Mandir ISKCON Chowpatty. His family hosts and serves various Srila Prabhupada disciples and other visiting devotees who transit from UAE. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Back to you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll hand off the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, and all the devotees in Bhakti Sangha conference call. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to serve all the devotees and the Lord. I am very, very grateful for this opportunity and would also like to thank Her Grace Shyama Gauri Mataji, who actually requested me. I wasn't really aware about the forum, but this is the first time that I am connecting. And I just connected few minutes back and heard devotees intensely chanting, and I'm really very, very happy for that. Obviously, this is around 3:15 here in UAE, so it's a daytime that every day we cannot join, but sometimes on a weekend I would try to join myself for these inspiring sessions. Thank you so much, Mataji, and all the devotees. So, with your permission, for the pleasure of the Lord, we would just like to discuss on the seva given to me. So, I would like to begin with your blessings.
Hare Krishna Rasamrita Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Oh, Sukhadar Prabhu, Hari Bol, Sukhadar Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. How are you?
He is my own brother, Rasamrita Prabhu.
Hari. Oh, so you are here, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You are the best speaker in the world.
Krishna. You are the best person so that you can see best in everybody, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you for your blessings. So, Sukhadar Krishna Prabhu is like my elder brother. He was a very wonderful, versatile devotee. Have been very fortunate to have spent some time with him while he was in Sharjah in UAE. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your blessings. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhire Bhaktaprayesu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nand Gopal Kumarai Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnantimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Hapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahiya Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sriyuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Krishna Padam Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurava चारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारि वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यः विष्णुभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायिते कृष्ण कृष्ण चैतन्य नामोदरूपसे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधव कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासागर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे आराध्य भगवान तद्धाम वृंदावनम रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गे नया श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेम पुमर्तो महा श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभु तत्र Krishna. So once again, we would like to welcome all devotees on this Bhakti Sangha conference call, and would like to seek blessings of all the devotees, particularly from His Grace Sukhar Krishna Prabhu, who is my senior and a wonderful brother. And once again, thanks to Syama Gauri Mataji and everybody on this forum for giving me a seva opportunity. So today I have been given this seva of reading and studying Srimad Bhagavatam. So I would just like to share my screen also so that you can see this. Please let me know when you can see the screen. So we are on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto
Yes,
8.
Prabhu, we can see the screen.
Thank you. Thank you for confirming. Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creations, Chapter 2, The Elephant Gajendra's Crisis. So before obviously starting this conference, I would just like to seek blessings of the Lord, because there are two purposes for which we do Hari Katha, we speak. One is to attract the heart of the Lord, and second is to purify our own heart. That is very, very important. So even in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Vidurji is asking so many questions to Maitreya Muni, he basically tells his bhav, and he says that you are asking many questions to me, but I don't have capacity to respond to everything, but I will still try. And he says, Tathapi kirtayami anga yathamati yathashritam kirtim samsat hari kartum gira anya bhidasite. So he says that Tathapi, still I will do, kirtayami, I will speak, ang means O Vidura, says yathamati yathashritam. That means yathamati, whatever basically, intelligence I might have, and yathashrutam, and whatever I have heard from the previous acharyas and my gurus, and I may not be able to remember and reproduce everything, but yathamati yathashrutam, whatever is in my capacity, I would just try to say. Why? Because if I don't speak Hari Katha, then my tongue will be engaged in doing all the nonsensical activity. It will become like a unchaste prostitute, So therefore, I would say, so it is a great opportunity. It's a great privilege, seva, to actually hear, study, and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. So with this mood, we are entering into the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 2nd chapter, Elephant Gajendra's Crisis. And it's a very, very important chapter because crisis is a universal phenomena. So we will discuss more upon that. And I would just like to very quickly, read out this slokas. And so there are couple of shlokas which is given to me, because all these shlokas doesn't have purport till the verse 30th, which has purport by Srila Prabhupada. So we will discuss primarily that verse, but we'll just quickly read through and go forward. So obviously, if there is anything in between, you can please feel free to stop me and also contribute. So just for the sake of time, we will not recite, but I'll just quickly take it through. And I will go. So here Shukdev Goswami says, तप्त करिभी करेणुभिर्वृतो मदुच्चात कर भैर अनुद्रतः गिरिं गरिम्ना परिता प्रकम्पयन् निषेव्यमाणो लिपुलैर्मदाश्रमैः सरो नीलं पङ्कजरेषु रुषितं जिघ्रान् विदूरान् मदविह्वलेक्षणः वृतस्वयुतेन प्रसार्दितेन तत् सरोवराभ्यासमथामदद्भुतम्. Synonymous, Sa means he, so whom we are discussing here about Gajendra. So Sah means he, the leader of elephant, Gajendra. What happened? So as you know, here, in last basically 22 verses, all the description of the wonderful Trikuta mountain and the wonderful scenery which is there in that area is very, very nicely described by Shukdev Goswami. And here comes basically where Gajendra is going along with his family members. Maybe we can say he's going for a picnic. So he's basically wandering, and that description is there. And he says that while he's walking, sa dharma taptah. So dharma is like garm, it tapta. It tapt means it is basically, he's perspiring because of the heat which is created. So currently right now I'm in UAE and the temperature is very, very hot here. I see even in Bharat, India is also, the temperature is really, really hot this time. So he was on Trikut mountain, as we know. Gajendra was near Trikut mountain. Trikut mountain is basically with this three peak, gold, silver, and bronze. And all the three are metal. And you can imagine that in the hot sun, the metal will be so hot actually. And because of that heat which was produced there around the surrounding, he was perspiring. Gajendra was perspiring, and then what happens? Karibhi. It says that, and many other elephant he was going, and Karenu Bhi. That means so many female elephants. So Hathi, generally the elephant is in the jhund, and they love to stay in association. Like we love to stay in the association of devotees, but generally the elephants are in that jhund, and he had lot many female counterpart, female elephant or wives, and he was surrounded by this. Vrata means surrounded by them, and Madachyuta means he was intoxicated. Liquor dripping from his mouth. So let me just stop. Keep sharing and stopping in between so that we can take the discussion forward. Okay. So again, I'm sharing. So because sometimes I'm not able to see the full screen. So Madachyuta, liquor dripping from his mouth. So he was intoxicated, and there is a particular kind of one what you call liquid which is created in the mouth of the elephant, and there were other small elephants also going along with that, and because of this liquor which was dropping from his mouth, there were many bumblebees. It is called alikulai. Alikulai means there are bumblebees which were going behind this this elephant, and you would have seen sometimes when elephant is actually walking, he is basically flipping his ears, big ears, because he wants to usko udana chahta hai makkiyon ko. And all these bumblebees are actually coming and just trying to kind of take that liquor from the mouth of the elephant, and he was followed by so many different elephants, because he was the leader. The leader leads and the followers they follow, and it says Girim. Girim means in that mountain, what was happening? That mountain was trembling. Garimna means by the weight of the body of elephant. So although it said that jungle ka raja sher hota hai, the lion is the king of the jungle. But here Gajendra was actually like a king because he was very powerful, very heavy. And earlier also, and later we will see that there were so many animals which were actually afraid of Gajendra. Particularly the tigers, the lions, and such wild animals. They were very much afraid of Gajendra. But there were small animals which had taken shelter of Gajendra, so they were very happy. Okay, so by the weight of the Gajendra's body, Garimna, Prakampayan means kampan means trembling. So this basically mountain started trembling, and he was served by too many bumblebee who drank the honey from him. And then what happened when he was going like this, okay, and he could smell something. What he could smell? So it says Jigran. Jigran means Duran. Duran means, from the far he could actually smell. What he could smell? He could smell the fragrance of the lotus flower. So when he smelled, with his soon, his trunk, because the elephant has a big trunk, and he could actually smell, this lotus fragrance. So he could understand that, oh, where is lotus? Lotus are generally in the lake, Sarovar. So he says, okay, there is a lake nearby, and I'm feeling very, very, hot. I'm perspiring. So I must go and, jump into the lake. So what happens? Sarah Nilam means there is a breeze which is coming from the lake, and he from distant he could understood, and Mad Vihuala, he was intoxicated. And then what he happened? He immediately he understood that there is a lake, and he reached on the shore of the lake. Then it says Akamata means he went very, very soon. Immediately he went inside. So translation by Srila Prabhupada. Surrounded by the herds, other elephant, including females, and followed by the young ones, Gajapati, the leader of the elephant, made Trikuta mountain tremble all around because of the weight of his body. He was perspiring, liquor dripping from his mouth, and his vision was overwhelmed by intoxication. He was being served by the bumblebees who drank honey, and from a distance, he could smell the dust of the lotus flower, which was carried from the lake by the breeze. Thus, surrounded by the associates who were afflicted by thirst, he soon arrived at the bank of the lake. So here is where he is basically reaching the Sarovar. And then, further, Goswami says, Vigayatasmin amritam nirmalam hemar vindot palarena rushitam papau nikamam nijapushkar rudrutam atmanam advi napayam gataklamah. He says Vihayam. That means as soon as he reached on the bank of the lake, Sarovar, he entered. Immediately he jumped. Like sometimes when we go on the picnic, and we have seen when, there are some, devotees or particularly children, when they see the swimming pool or a water body, they immediately jump inside. And, they just try to, because it's a very natural for everybody, when they are feeling hot, they just want to be cool, and go inside the water. Tasmin, in that lake, and that lake's water was very, very pure as nectar. Amrita Ambu, it said here, and Nirmalam, it was crystal clear water. It's a beautiful water, and it was also very cold. And therefore, he was feeling very, very happy to enter in the lake. And Arvind Utpala, that means there were lilies and the lotuses in that, and which was mixed with the dust of the this lotus. And what he did immediately as soon as he entered, because he was thirsty. Sometimes when we are traveling and there is too much of heat, we are thirsty, we immediately search for water. Or sometimes some people search for the soft drink, they just want to drink. So papau means he drank. And nikamam means nikam means until he was fully satisfied. So he drank a lot of water because he was also a very powerful animal. And then what did he do? His own pushkara udruta means drawing from his trunk. And abdi means water. And snapayan means he bathed thoroughly, and he was relieved of all the fatigue. So what did he do? He actually with his trunk, he picked up the water and started splashing on his body. So sometimes when we also go in the washroom and take bath, many people, they just want that shower, so therefore we say I'm going to take shower or something, like this actually. So everyone is amazed. Earlier in our old age, we used to bathe with the tumbler, but now there is a fashion, for this, taking shower. But Hathi, he takes shower very, very beautifully. And so it says Pushkar Udbhrita means drawing from his trunk. So what is Kar? Can somebody tell me what Kar means in Sanskrit? Please feel free to unmute and tell me. What is Kara?
Hand, Prabhu.
Yes, very nice. Kara means hand. So here Shukdev Goswami says Pushkara. So he had a beautiful hand, very special hand. And that trunk is basically nothing but it is considered as hand of the elephant. Okay. So therefore, all the elephants are with 4 legs. This elephant is with 4 legs and 1 hand. Elephant, all the animals, they are with 4 legs, but elephant is an animal with 4 legs and 1 hand. So this trunk is actually called Kara or Pushkar for him. So, and therefore Kara means Hath, and from Hath comes the word Hathi. Or in Sanskrit it is called Hast, and from Hast it is Hasti. So Hathi, it became Hathi. So he has a beautiful trunk, and with that trunk, which is basically the hand of the elephant, which is Hathi, Gajendra, he splashed so much water on his body. And if you know, the bathing of elephant is considered very, very beautiful. Indeed, there is a saying about the bathing of elephant many places, including Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is mentioned about Kunjar Sauch. Although in that context, it is said that the elephant actually bathes so nicely, but then what does he do? He actually comes and he rolls in the dust. So what is the meaning value of such bathing? But the bathing of elephant is actually very, very beautiful. And I had seen one video where people are paying like $50, $100, in Kerala to go sit on the elephant, and elephant is basically splashing water on their body. They feel very happy, and all those things. So elephant, and also elephant's walk is also, Gajagamini, it says. So the walk of elephant is very wonderful. So he was walking and then he entered in the lake with his hand, his trunk. He was splashing water, on his body. He was taking the bath in the nectarian water, which is there. So translation by Prabhupada. Prabhupada writes, the king of the elephants entered the lake, bathed thoroughly, and was relieved of his fatigue. Then, with the aid of his trunk, he drank the cold, clear nectarian water, which was mixed with the dust of the lotus flowers and the water lilies, until he was fully satisfied. So he went and all his fatigue was gone. He was fully satisfied. He drank a lot of water. Then what did he do? Okay, so it's the next verse is very interesting verse. Please, you can pay attention. It says, Pushkareno dhritasikaram buddhir nipayayan samsnapayan yatha grahi Vinikareenu Karavascha Durmado Nachast Krishnan Kripano Amayaya. So it says that like a human being who lacks spiritual knowledge and is too attached to the members of his family, the elephant, being illusioned by the external energy of Krishna, had his wives and children bathe and drink the water. Indeed, he raised water from the lake with his trunk and spread it all over them. He did not mind the hard labor involved in this endeavor. So what he's saying, sir, means again that elephant, Pushkarena with his trunk, what did he do? He drew out the water and then he sprinkled the water on his family members, causing them to drink first. So what he did, first he drank a lot of water himself. Then he gave to all his kids, children, oh, stand in line, I'm giving you some water, please take. So please imagine that a father is taking his whole family for a picnic, and you are going to the picnic and he buys some ice cream, distributes ice cream to the children, and just see how beautifully Shukdev Goswami compares this elephant, Gajendra, with a human being who is Grahi. So here the word in the second line, the last word grahi is there. Please pay attention to this word. Grahi means one who stays in the house. So he says that like a grahi, like a grahast or grahamedhi person, whatever way you take it, he basically gave lot of water to his family. Okay. So now somebody might say, so isme kya problem hai? Everyone takes care of their family. He also took care of the family. And that is very nice only, right? Why not? He should have given, water to his children. He should have given water to his wives. He should have given water to his friends. It's absolutely very nice. No problem. Till here, there is no problem. You can do that. So if you would have just given the water and he would have gone, it was nice. Or even if he sprinkled some water, okay, गर्मी लग रही है, चलो थोड़ा पानी छिड़क दिया, and then he's gone. That was also okay. But what did he do? Let us pay attention here. So he says that yathagrihi, like a family member, he gave water to his wife, he gave water to his children, and he gave the water comparing, to a person who's too much attached to his family members, and to please them, he does so much of hardship, pracharam. So that means so much cost is there in that, and a householder does so much hard work, hard labor to please his family, okay, which is described by Shukdev Goswami here. So let us go to the next verse, very, very nice verse, where he says that tam tatra kaschin nripadaiva chodita graho baliyam charane rushagrahet yadrekshayaivam vyasanam gato gajo yatha balam so tibbi vichakrame. So it says that by the arrangement of providence, O king, a strong crocodile was angry. Why he was angry? Can somebody tell me why crocodile was angry? Let us have it as a interactive session also. If somebody can just tell.
Because he was disturbed by the actions of the Gajendra. Because he was irritating disturbing the waters and all.
Very nice, very nice. So, as I said in the earlier verse, if he would have just drank the water himself, he would have given water to his children, no problem. Even if he would have given water to his wife, it was no problem. That is absolutely fine. Every grahastha does that. Every person is supposed to do that. And then he would have gone. There was no disturbance. But then what happened? He actually started, bathing inside in such a way that he was creating ripples in the water. And he was basically masti kar raha tha uske andar. You can understand he was actually frivolous in the water. So many times what happens when a person goes in the water body, generally he becomes frivolous. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada, he told when devotees went to Radha Kund, he says that, you should not enter Radha Kund. And Radha Kund is not meant for, jumping inside and, doing like this Gajendra-like activity where, you're frivolous, you are, splashing the water and all those things. No, it's very, very much, worshipable and important water body for us. Basically, it is actually the liquid frame of Srimati Radharani. The highest place. We know from the nectar of instruction, that how Rupa Goswami starts from Vacho Vegam, Manasa Karota Vegam, and then he takes us to Radha Kund. So Radha Kund is not for making, this privileged kind of activity. So you just go, put 3 drops on your head, touch the water and offer obeisances, pray. That's it supposed to be done. If Gajendra would have stopped at that point, there was no problem. But he continued and he did ati. Ati means he did something extra. Atyahar prayasascha prajalpaha nayamagrah. And Sri Chanakya Pandit has said that ati sarvatra varjayet. If you do too much of anything, is actually bad. So if you are eating too much, it is bad. If you are eating too much sweet, it is bad. If you are sleeping too much, it is bad. If you do anything too much, is bad. Okay, except one thing. What is that? Everything of doing too much is bad except one thing. What is that?
Bhakti.
Bhakti. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So, except bhakti, anything of too much bhakti is actually very, very bad. Even bhakti, I will tell that nobody can actually do too much bhakti or ati bhakti. Okay, for that matter. And therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, ati bhakti chorera lakshan. I hope you have heard this phrase. It is from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, Ati
Yes.
Bhakti Chorera Lakshan. Ati
Show off.
Bhakti Chorera. That means it's show off. So anybody who is doing Ati Bhakti is actually a show off. It's not the real Bhakti, because a real Bhakta will never show off. He will keep inside. Like I'll give very, very nice example, which is given by the Guru of Srila Prabhupada's Guru. And his Guru. Basically, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Guru, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he gives very, very wonderful example. And he says that suppose if a lady is pregnant, there is a labor pain. She shouts, she screams, she makes a lot of noise. Why? Because there is a labor pain and soon a child is going to be born. That's very natural because she is in pain, she is making sound, she is screaming, she is crying. That is fine. But suppose if a lady who is not pregnant and only making sound, if she is only making, show of just screaming or crying, is there any value for that? Is something going to come out? Nothing is going to come out because she is not pregnant. So when there is actually bhakti in the heart, obviously sometimes this, manifestation comes out, but we should not display this publicly. Never a time, there was a time that even Shad Goswamis or, Prabhupada, they never basically expressed their emotions in publicly, So nobody actually can do bhakti. So therefore he said, Ati Bhakti Chorera Lakshan. Anyway, so he did bhakti. What did he do? He started splashing water. He started jumping in that. He started pulling his friend and then just started, enjoyment, and that enjoyment actually agitated, the crocodile. So sometimes what happens, we sometimes do too many things, too much enjoyment, and sometimes that may also agitate somebody else. So sometimes if you are doing certain things and you are quiet, peace is not disturbed. But sometimes what happens, people, they go and, they put the flag on the mountain. They go, they put it on the Instagram. They go, they put it on the Facebook. I went to Switzerland. I went here. I went there. And the other devotee is thinking, oh my God, we never met any. What is this? We are disturbing the peace sometimes. Okay. So by the arrangement of providence, because it was actually Leela of the Lord, the strong crocodile was very angry at the elephant and then he attacked elephant's leg in the water. The elephant was certainly strong. He tried his best to get free from this danger set by the providence, but he couldn't actually. So it is said that it was inspired, this Graha. Gaj means Hathi, Graha means crocodile. He was Baliyan, very powerful. He got his feet and soon this Gajendra was under the jaws of this crocodile. Yeah. So Maharaj also says, he says that we are all in the jaws of the Maya of crocodile, crocodile of Maya. We are in the jaws of the crocodile of Maya. It is only a matter when he closes his jaws and we are already there. So if we are trying to do too much masti in this world, do not be sober. Dhiras tatra na huyati. So if we are not dhira, then we will be definitely 100% we will be caught by this crocodile who will close his mouth. Till the time Gajendra was in the water, not disturbing, everything was fine. But then Gajendra actually did something like this. Okay, and then we will just go quickly. I'll just read the translation here. So 28, 29, and then 30th we will just go and recite the verse. So thereafter, seeing Gajendra in that grave condition, his wife felt very, very sorry and began to cry. So these are all written in Srimad Bhagavatam as infallible soldiers. They can't save. Nobody is going to save us. We have to fly our own plane alone. Nobody is going to save. If we think that ye mujhe bachayega, wo mujhe bachayega, nobody is going to save us. So after seeing his condition, they felt very, very sorry and began to cry. The other elephants wanted to help Gajendra, but because crocodile's great strength, they couldn't rescue him by grasping him from behind. They couldn't do anything actually. And then what happened? Then he says, fighting, Nyudh, basically Yudh. So they were fighting. How? They were fighting this crocodile and the elephant, Gaj and Gra. They were fighting. And what was happening? The Gajendra was dragging, this, basically the crocodile was dragging Gajendra inside and Gajendra was trying to drag him out. So there was a tug of war. There was a fight, O king, The elephant and the crocodile fought in this way, pulling one another in and out of the water for 1,000 years. Upon seeing the fight, the demigods were very, very surprised. Now, can you imagine that for 1,000 years they were fighting and there was no food, no water, nothing. Basically, Gajendra did not eat anything for that 1,000 years. Even crocodile did not eat, but because he was in the water, he was getting nourished. And elephant was basically a creature of, not of the water, but out of the water. And that's what basically the next verse says. So let us go and discuss this important verse where Srila Prabhupada is giving one of the most brilliant and fantastic purport. We will read the purport also. Chendra Simano Balojasam Kalen Dirghen Mahan Mudavyaya Krishmanas Jale Vasidато Viparyayo Bhut Sakalam Jalo Saha. Very, very beautiful verse. So let us also read, the synonyms and then go to the verse itself. Tata means thereafter. Vita Indrasya of the kings of the elephant, Mana of the strength and enthusiasm, Bala, the physical strength, Ojasam, the strength of the senses. All this thing, what happened? Gajendra ka sab kuch reduce ho gaya. It all got reduced. Kalen, because of the years of fighting, for thousands of years they were fighting, or Dirghen, very, very prolonged. And that Mahan, great, good. It says he was pulled by crocodile inside the water and he was trying to come out, but he couldn't actually because he was in the foreign place. And then he got reduced. Avasidatah. That means he got reduced in mental, physical, and sensory strength. And the opposite party, he became very powerful because he was Jalaokashah. Jalaokasha means what? The crocodile whose home is water. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Thereafter, because of being pulled in the water and fighting for many, many long years, the elephant became diminished in his mental, physical, and sensual strength. The crocodile, on the contrary, being an animal of the water, increased in enthusiasm, physical strength, and sensual power. Purport. In the fighting between the elephant and crocodile, the difference was that although the elephant was extremely powerful, he was in a foreign place in the water. During 1,000 years of fighting, he could not get any food, and under the circumstances, his bodily strength diminished, and because of his bodily strength diminished, his mind also became weak and his senses less powerful. The crocodile, however, being an animal of the water, had no difficulties. He was getting food and was therefore getting mental strength and sensual encouragement. Thus, while the elephant became reduced in strength, the crocodile became more and more powerful. Now, from this, we may take the lesson that in our fight with Maya, obviously we are fighting with Maya, accepting Krishna consciousness means fighting with Maya. We should not be in a position in which our strength, enthusiasm, and senses will be unable to fight vigorously. Our Krishna consciousness movement has actually declared war against the illusory energy in which all the living entities are rotting in a false understanding of civilization. The soldiers in this Krishna consciousness movement must always possess physical strength, enthusiasm, and sensual power. To keep themselves fit, they must therefore place themselves in a normal condition of life. What constitutes a normal condition will not be the same for everyone, and therefore there are divisions of Varnashrama, Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. Especially in this age, Kali Yuga, it is advisable that no one takes sannyas. Prabhupada quotes Brahma Vaivarta Puran. From this, we can understand that in this age of sannyas, the sannyas ashram is forbidden because people are not strong. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us an example in taking sannyas at the age of 24 years. But even Sarvam Bhattacharya advised Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be extremely careful because he had taken sannyas at a very early age. For preaching, we may give young boys sannyas, but actually it is being experienced that they are not fit for sannyas. There is no harm. However, if one thinks that he is unfit for sannyas, if he is very much agitated sexually, he should go to the ashram where sex is allowed, namely the Grahastha ashram. That one has been found to be very weak in one place does not mean that he should stop fighting the crocodile of Maya. One should take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, as we shall see Gajendra do. At the same time, one can be a Grahastha if he is satisfied with sexual indulgence. There is no need to give up the fight. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore recommended Sthane Sthita Shruti Gataha Punovan Manobhi. One may stay in whatever ashram is suitable for him. It is not essential that one takes sannyas. if one is sexually agitated, he can enter the grihastha ashram, but one must continue fighting. For one who is not in a transcendental position, to take sannyas artificially is not a very great credit. If sannyas is not suitable, one may enter grihastha ashram and fight Maya, great strength, but one should not give up the fighting and go away. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Purport ki jai. So let us discuss this very wonderful verse and very beautiful, extremely beautiful purport Srila Prabhupada has written very honestly, and it is actually for all the honest devotee. We must actually very carefully read, scrutinizingly read, understand, and follow this purport in essence in our life. So this is meant for the whole community of devotees, the whole Krishna Conscious Society, the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Beautiful purport Srila Prabhupada is giving, and he's writing here. So first of all, what Shukdev Goswami is saying, that because Gajendra was not a animal of the water, he was not basically, culture nahi tha, so his strength reduced because he was at a wrong place, and crocodile was at the right place. So therefore, it is very important to be on a proper place. So place is important. Sometimes I was actually thinking that in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 subject matter which are described. Atra sarga visargacha sthanam poshnam utaya manvantare ishano katha nirodhu mukti rashraya. These are 10. So, okay, sarga visarga is okay. Sthan, why sthan? Why planet? What is importance of sthan? But then I later understood that yes, sthan is actually matters a lot. So if you want to perform bhakti, you need a sthan. You need temple, you need center, you need association, then actually you can do it. So we need to understand that we should be in a proper place. First of all, being in this material world, we are not in a proper place. We are a fish out of water. We belong to Sri Goloka Vrindavan Dham, but we are thrown here. Somehow or other, we are here. So we are not in proper place. And in this material world also, if we are living, we need to understand that we follow Varnashram. That's what Srila Prabhupada is writing here. That Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, and then Grahastha, Sannyasi, Vanprast, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanprast, and Sannyas. So in this 4 Varna and 4 ashram, we should be properly situated. And if we don't really understand who we are, and if we don't properly actually, live according to the Varnashram, then we will lose our strength. We will lose our sensual, mental, emotional, and physical strength. And our situation will be also like Gajendra. So Gajendra is basically an elephant, basically an animal, elephant who is basically from the land. If crocodile would have caught Gajendra's feet on the land, what would have happened? Can somebody tell me that by chance, if crocodile would have caught Gajendra's feet on the land, what would have happened? Please tell. Somebody would like to say?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So on the
Yes,
land, elephant will be strong, and the crocodile will lose his power because of it's out of the water.
Yeah. Actually, please understand, Shukdev Goswami has already described that Gajendra was extremely powerful. That even lion cannot come in front of him. He was really powerful, and he was so powerful, so heavy, that even the whole Trikuta mountain, which was like, so wide and so big, was also trembling. So if this graha, if this crocodile would have come in between Gajendra's, feet on the land, Gajendra would have made chutney out of him. Just he would have put his feet on Gajendra, on this crocodile, and crocodile would have become like a chutney. So much he was powerful, and that's what initially Gajendra thought. कि अरे ये क्या है? मेरा पैर पकड़ रहा है, अभी इसको मैं घुमा के फेंक दूंगा. I will just throw him out. But because he was not in a correct place, so first of all we need to understand that we need to be in correct place. And the fact that we are in this material world, as I told earlier, the material world is actually full of crisis, right? We are actually in the crisis situation, and crisis is inevitable. Indeed, the name of the chapter is also what? Gajendra's crisis. So very, very important for us to understand that, we cannot avoid crisis in this material world, and it will actually come to us. But before that, let me just tell you one thing. We were talking about the sthan. One thing I just remembered, that sthan is important. So one time what happened, that, it said that Lord Vishnu actually went to meet Lord Shiva. So Vishnu went on his Vahan, which is Garuda. So Lord Vishnu was sitting on Garudji, and he went to Lord Shiva. And when he went to Lord Shiva, he parked his vehicle, Garudji, just next to him. And then what happened? In the neck of Lord Shiva was a serpent, Vasuki, or whatever the name is actually. And that serpent was hitting on Garuda. Now you tell me, can a serpent have this much of daring to hiss on Garuda? Garuda can eat thousands of serpents at one time. Even Kalia, who was such a big serpent, was afraid of Garuda. The serpent cannot hiss on Garuda, no doubt about. But he was hissing. Why? Can somebody please tell me why he was hissing?
Because he was on the neck of Shiva, Lord Shiva.
Yeah,
Hare
he was
Krishna.
in the neck of. Thank you so much. Thank you. So he was in the neck of Lord Shiva, and therefore he was having that daring of hissing on Garuda. And then Garuda says, "Thanam pradhanam na bala pradhanam." He says that you are not powerful. It's not your bal, which is basically, he says that sthanam prabhavam. Because you are in the neck of Lord Shiva, you are hissing on me. If you are not in Lord Shiva's neck, I would have gulped you anytime. You would have just become my breakfast actually. So that is very, very important. He says that a Gajendra, a Nagendra, you are just hissing because you are actually in the neck of Lord Shiva. So therefore, anyway, we need to understand that sometimes it is very, very important that this sthanam is very important. Otherwise, in this material world, as I said, is crisis, and crisis is universal phenomenon. Crisis is inevitable. Somehow or other, there will be crisis. So if we really don't understand that where we belong to, and Srila Prabhupada is writing such an, meaning wonderful purport where he's saying that in this Kali Yuga, sannyas is not recommended. It is not to be given also. But what should we do? We are International Society of Krishna Consciousness. We are a preaching movement. So to take the movement of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forward, we have to do certain things which is radical, which is revolutionary. Like Prabhupada allowed ladies to do deity worship in the temples. Indeed, he said that what ladies, a day will come where even a person, without one hand can actually we can do deity worship if there is a requirement. So Prabhupada, when he started this Krishna consciousness movement, he did so many things. He said that I know for sure that all my disciples are not fit to be sannyasi, but still I am doing it because I need to take this movement forward. But then he says that if you really understand that you are not fit to be sannyasi, you are not fit to live that kind of a life, you are sexually agitated, then please accept Grahastha ashram, where sex is allowed, and be honest. At least be honest. Honesty is very, very important, and that's what basically sometimes missing even in the society. There is a very nice verse just came to my head now. I think in Atri Samhita it is quoted, and they say that how does it starts? Forgetting the reference of that. It says Veda Vihino Pathanti Shastram Shastra Vihinascha Purana Patha Puran Hino Krishna Bhavanti Bhrashtasate Bhagavata Bhavantu. He says Veda Vihina Pathanti Shastram. Those who cannot read Vedas, they read the Shastras, the lower categories of the scriptures. Veda Vihina Pathanti Shastra Shastra Vihino Purana Patha. And those who cannot refer that also, they refer to Puranas because these are like histories, itihasas. Okay, Purana Hino Krishna Bhavanti. And those who cannot also study Puranas, what they do, they engage themselves in an honest occupations like Krishi, Krishiko Bhavanti, or Krishna Bhavanti. That means farmer. They become farmers. So those who cannot read Vedas, they read Puranas. Those who cannot read Puranas, they engage themselves in a very honest occupation like farming, because earlier, that is what was known. This AI was not known to maybe, Atriji, to quote in the Samhita, artificial intelligence was not, or probably it would be there, I don't know, whatever it is. Then Puran hino krishiko bhavanti bhrashtaste. But those who are not honest, who are bhrasht actually, what they do? Bhagavata bhavantu. They become professional Bhagavat reciter, they charge money, and then they live on the strength of making this Bhagavat Katha very cheap. So honesty is very, very important. Srila Prabhupada is actually writing in this purport, and he's focusing on this one central point of honesty, that we need to be honest. We cannot cheat anybody actually, for that matter. Inherently, there is a defect in a human being. Brahma, Pramada, Karna, Patava, and Vipralipsa. We have imperfect senses. We have tendency to make mistakes. Our senses, we get illusion, and then we indulge into cheating propensity. So these are the 4 defects which we have. But he said that when you take to the Krishna conscious process, we should not be indulging into cheating. We should be honest what we do. There are certain things which we will not be able to do. Fine, that's okay. Somebody can be like Hanuman, lifting big mountain and throw it in the ocean in the service of Lord Ram. We might be a small squirrel, who can just throw some pebbles. That's fine, absolutely no problem. Please understand where you are and you do. Otherwise, you will, if we don't really understand our identity, and there is an identity crisis, then we are completely gone. We need to really understand where we belong to, and crisis is inevitable. Sometime or in some other way, it will happen. There is no question of, not happening it. There is no question of if, but there is question of when and how long and how much. So therefore, understanding the nature of crisis is very, very important. So from this episode of Gajendra, we can understand that if we are trained, if we are equipped with, handling the crisis, like in our corporate world, there is a department, called business continuity planning, or cyber security, and there are different compliances and all those things. So we need to understand that crisis may come up anytime. We have to be prepared for it. We have to be equipped for that, and we should have that understanding, and that how behavior. And if we are doing planning for that, if we are prepared for that, then what will happen? The impact will be there, but it will not be that painful. It will not be as effective as it would be. So basically, like His Holiness Sridhar Swami Maharaj, who was also fondly known as Jolly Swami, he used to say, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Okay, so we should understand that we are not this body, we are the soul. Theoretically, we understand, the devotees understand, but our body is made up of these 5 elements. And physiologically, our body is changing, but sometimes our mind is not changing. Our ego is not able to accept it. And when there is a sudden change in the situation, we are not prepared for that. We are not equipped for that. We are not anticipating it. And the soul is not able to figure it out, through the medium of mind, that, oh, how can I accept this? And then there is a chaos. So therefore, sometimes even devotees get bewildered. Why this happened with me? Why this happened? Actually, because sometimes we are not prepared for the crisis. The beginning of the spiritual life itself is a crisis. Actually, Bhagavad Gita started with a crisis. Arjuna, he was under severe pressure, severe crisis. He had identity crisis. When Lord Krishna said, look, Arjun, all who are assembled in front of you, he started crying. He said that, oh my God, I cannot fight. All these are my relatives. Who am I? And then he was understanding that he is the body, and all these people in front of him are related to his body. But no, we are soul. So theoretically, we may know that we are soul, but do we really understand what is our identity? Because if somebody just says, like, for example, Mataji asked and say, give me your introduction. So I was actually thinking not giving, but then one time when I didn't give it to one devotee, he was little angry with me. He said, no, it is my seva to introduce, as a part of Bhagavatam session. It's a like tradition, it's a formality, But otherwise, what we are giving our identity, I am this, I am that, So either we give our identity, our introduction based on some possessions or on some position.
Chartered
so you
accountant.
are a chartered accountant, doctor, lawyer, company secretary, or maybe, I am yatra leader, I am temple president, I am, this lead, meaning so much. I am a counselor, I am a teacher, I am Bhakti Shastri. So these are the introduction which is given based on our profession, based on our position, based on our possession sometimes, but this is basically not our identity. Our identity, we need to really understand who am I in real sense, who am I. So if things change for us sometimes, like for example, somebody is a counselor or somebody is, for that matter, say temple president, okay, and sometimes he thinks that this is the only position which is going to take me to back home, back to Godhead. Is it like that? No, but sometimes we get so much attached to that one particular service. We identify ourselves with that service. We get consumed by that position, that, that auda. That this is my upadhi. Basically, with that, we caught up with that upadhi. And we think that if I am not the temple president, I will not go back home, back to Godhead. If I am not tomorrow, if your counselorship is getting cancelled, you are depressed. You don't know what happened. Sometimes, the crisis comes suddenly in our life. And what is crisis? Like one time Gauranga Prabhu said, he said that too many things moving too fast is calamity. When there are too many things moving too fast, you don't know what happened. Overnight, yesterday, you were Raja. Now you became Gangu Teli. Suddenly, everything is gone. Your court martial is done suddenly. You don't know क्या हो गया life के अंदर, and then we are not able to take it. अरे ये क्या हो गया? I was like this, I was like that, I was, and I'm nowhere now. So therefore, if we identify ourselves, with our positions, with our possessions, with our relationships, sometimes I'm related to this, I'm related to, I'm disciple of this guru. So we are basically getting strength from somebody else. It's called parallel power. It's not our identity. What is our real identity? Gopi Bhartur Pada Kamale or Das, 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 Dasanu Das. That's our real identity. Who am I? I'm the soul. That is the most important thing to understand. And if we understand that thing, so what happens sometimes externally, we understand we are not the body. Like sometimes when a new devotee, he comes to Krishna consciousness and he hears this, shloka, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. So then he says, Prabhuji, abhi samajh mein aa gaya. I came to Krishna consciousness, I understood the philosophy. Sab bahut अच्छा है कि I am not this body. So whenever you ask any devotee, he will not say I am the body, because he knows the answer. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yohanam jara. But the second part is most important, which sometimes we are not able to understand till the end of our life. And what is that? Tatha dehantas prapti dhiras tatranna muhyati. That muhyati, not getting bewildered. So sometimes even in this devotee, you will get bewildered. I think I just missed it, right? When I was saying about Sridhar Swami Maharaj, he said pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. So basically what happens that where we are in the crisis, like Arjun was in Vishad. Arjun Vishad Yoga. And what is basically the symptoms of Vishad? The symptoms of Vishad is that you are really down. You can't do anything. Your moral gets, completely loosened. There is a sign of weakness. You are completely gone, and you say, I can't do anything. Really, I can't do anything. So sometimes, that may also happen in the life of a devotee. When you are depressed, your consciousness, your spirit, your enthusiasm, everything is down. That is called Vishad. But then the chapter is not Arjun Vishad. It is said Arjun Vishad Yoga Nama. So yoga, what is yoga? The yoga is when that depression leads one to take shelter of Krishna. So what happens? Don't think that as a devotee we will not have crisis in our life. Srila Prabhupada said, ऐसा मत सोचो कि तुम्हारे साथ नहीं होगा. It may happen to you also. Anything can go wrong anytime with anybody for that matter. However big a person may be in his position, however big he may be having his possessions, however big he may be anybody in this world, anything can happen. The calamity can strike. The crocodile will take you in his jaw. The crocodile of Maya will catch you. So therefore, we need to understand that how we really understand the situation, and then basically take shelter of Krishna. So if that crisis allows us to take shelter of Krishna, then it is yoga. Otherwise, it is only Vishad. And Krishna at that time becomes the motivational speaker. The first motivational first motivational speaker in the world, Bhagwan Lord Sri Krishna, he came to rescue of Arjun, and he did not tell Arjun how to fight. He knew. He just said why he need to fight. And that is what finding our why is very, very important in this world. And Krishna told that to Arjun, and therefore it was a turning point for Arjun. So the crisis has come from a Greek word called, so which says turning point, So then Arjun, so we are tatast, like for example, we are what to call tatast sakti, right? So tatast means we are on the shore of the ocean. So either we can go inside the ocean or we can come out. There is no in between actually. So that tatast, so we can take a decision. It's a decisive word that we can take decision, we can make choice, we can make changes in the course of our life, so that we get clarity, conviction, and courage. And therefore, the most important thing that how we deal with this crisis is very, very important. How did Gajendra deal with this crisis? Gajendra, he fought with all his strength. He asked that nothing happened, and then ultimately he surrendered. And then he picked up one flower, as we will read in the next chapter, in the beautiful prayers of Gajendra, which is one of the most beautiful prayers, existing in this world. Gajendra is praying, and then he takes one lotus from the Sarovar, and he just, shows up. He says, whoever, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, please come to my rescue. I am really suffering. And he surrenders. And that's what Krishna tells Arjun to surrender ultimately in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityaja manmana bhavam. So we need to really understand who we are, that what position, and whatever position we may be, crisis might come if we can take shelter of Krishna properly. So one must be prepared with knowledge, and that from knowledge we develop clarity. We should also have skill set to deal with crisis that brings conviction and confidence. We should also have a role model, like Krishna was role model for Arjuna at that time. And we might have our own guru, we might have great personalities. We have Srila Prabhupada and the whole Guru Parampara behind us. They are our role model. That gives us courage to fight with Maya, with this crisis. And then we should have powerful association of like-minded people. That gives us inspiration. And that is why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's this Andolan is called Sankirtan Andolan. That is very, so there is no one person. There is a combined effort of all the people who is there. And when you know that, oh, the whole Guru Parampara is behind me, when you know that somebody big is behind you, then you are not afraid. Let us see, देखा जाएगा, जो भी करना है वो हम कर सकते हैं. So that is very, very important for us to do this, and that is what basically we need to understand. So to conclude, I think we are just about to get over on our time. So I would just try to quickly wrap this up. So the most important part is that crisis may come anytime in our life. That picnic might get turned into a nightmare, as it happened for Gajendra. Gajendra was going on picnic with his wife, his children, his friends, everywhere. And then what happened? That picnic got turned into a nightmare, got turned into crisis. And it might happen with us also. And it is going to happen soon, till the time of death. Death is the ultimate closure of the jaws of the crocodile, which will catch us. But before that, what we need to do? We need to understand who am I, what is my spiritual identity. The correct, the permanent solution is to acquire spiritual identity, and that identity we need to understand that I am not the body, I am the soul, and my whole purpose is to serve the Supreme. And that is very, 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 very important for us, that there's the whole teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gopir Bhartur Pad Kamalayor Das Das Dasanu Das. That I am basically a very small, tiny, I am Anu, Krishna is Vibhu. I am just a particle of gold. Might be same in the quality of Krishna, but I am just a small particle of gold. Krishna is the gold mountain. I am just one small drop of an ocean. Krishna is the whole ocean. So therefore, we need to serve the Lord. We need to serve the devotees. And when we serve the Lord with this heartfelt prayers which Gajendra did, न विद्यते यस्य न जन्म कर्म वा न नाम रूपे गुण दोष एव वा तथापि लोकाप्यय संभवाय त्वमायया तान्यन काल मृक्षति. So we pray, we chant our rounds very, very sincerely. we associate with the devotees, we read the scriptures, we read Srimad Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya, and we come in the association of devotees, we honor prasadam together. And by performing this kind of activity where we just please Krishna, that's the secret of life. And I'll just quote one shloka from Padyavali, which says that actually nothing is going to come to our rescue and nothing is going to please Krishna. As I told, no possessions, no relationships, no positions, whether you are temple president, you are yatra leader, you are counselor, you are bhakti shastri, you are shiksha guru, you are diksha guru, nothing is going to come to rescue, nothing is going to please. If we can just please Krishna by performing bhakti, simple bhakti, Krishna is pleased. So he says that how did Gajendra, he never went to school, he did not know, how did he please? He did not have any education. Surup Goswami says in Padyavali, व्याधश्च का आचरण ध्रुवश्च वयो विद्या गजेन्द्रश्च का कुब्जया किं युनाम रूपम तत् किं तदा किं तत्सुदाम नो धनम वंशः को विदुरश्च यादव पतेर उग्रश्च किं पौरुषम भक्ति तुष्यन्ते केवलम न च गुणैर भक्ति प्रियो माधवा. He asked by starting a question, he says, what was hunter's piety? Vyagra, the hunter had any piety? No. Dhruva's maturity. Dhruva, he was very small. Gajendra, Vidya Gajendrasya. Did he have any knowledge? No, nothing. What was Kubja's beauty? What was Sudama's wealth? Where was Vidura's noble birth? Was Ugrasen had very strengthful man? No. But Madhava is pleased, Krishna is pleased by devotional service and not by any material qualification. So although Gajendra was very powerful, he was very, very powerful, but he couldn't do anything. Nobody came to his rescue. He himself couldn't do. He lost all his strength, And then ultimately he accepted Krishna, the Krishna shelter. So when we accept Krishna shelter, at that time Krishna basically he gives his mercy, and we can't even imagine how fast, how swift he gives his mercy. It is said that when Garuda was coming, when Krishna said that go, we have to go, Garuda was flying with the speed of a rocket, with the speed of a mind. Krishna said, this is less. He took Garuda himself on his shoulder and started running, and Garuda was like out of his breath. So Krishna was fanning Garuda. सरोवर में गजग्राह की थी लड़ाई, न गजराज की शक्ति कुछ काम आई, कहीं से मदद उसने जब कुछ ना पाई, तो दुखी होके आवाज हरि को लगाई. गरुड़ छोड़ नंगे ही पांव पधारे, हरे कृष्ण गोविंद मोहन मुरारे, हरे कृष्ण गोविंद मोहन मुरारे, यही नाम मुख में हो हरदम हमारे, हरे कृष्ण गोविंद मोहन मुरारे. We need to keep the name of Govind always on our tongue, in our mouth, and just chant the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And in this way, we will be able to someday please Lord and His devotees, and may go back home, back to Godhead, which is our real home, our real identity. We don't belong to this lake. We belong to, the place from where we are originally has come. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. I would like to thank all the devotees for patiently listening, and for your anybody who would like to say anything, any comment, any question, most welcome. Yes, Sukkar Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, so nice to see you. I remember the Abu Dhabi days, how you nicely take. You are a wonderful soul and you are a pure devotee, Prabhu. Prabhu, just want to know, you told that pain is inevitable, you told, and suffering is optional.
Yes.
Pain is, it will come, it will come, you cannot stop it. But suffering is optional. Pain hota hai, against suffering is optional, you are telling. How can you remove the suffering?
So basically, His Holiness Sridhar Swami, he was also known as Jolly Swami. He used to say this. He had actually cancer in his last days, and he was externally he was suffering. You can see that because
there is a
pain. So what the meaning of this is basically that if somebody shoots an arrow to you, obviously it will pierce your heart. The pain will be there. Like Vishnu Pitama got so many arrows. There was not even an inch of gap, between two arrows. So many arrows. But was he suffering? Not really. He was actually very happy in the sense that he was anticipating Lord Krishna to come at the time when he leaves his body. And he was actually making beautiful prayers to Krishna. Itimati rupa kalpita vikrishna भगवती सात्वत पुंगवे विभुम्ने स्वसुमुख भगते कतिम विमर्दु प्रकृति मुपेयुति भव pravaha. He was anticipating Krishna to come. He was not suffering, although pain was there. So in our life also there will be so many instances where we will have pain. But whether we really take that pain and suffer, that's up to us. So, sometimes, like for example, one time somebody, asked, one sannyasi, and he said that, how are you? He says, better than what I deserve. So this was the answer basically was given. So basically, even if there is a pain, you decide not to suffer. Because you don't really give that much importance to it. Physical, there will be pain. If somebody pierces, if there is a boil on your body, obviously there will be pain. But if you just focus your attention there only and forget Krishna, if pain brings you to Krishna, that crisis is good. That's what I said. That is yoga. So if that Vishad brings you to Krishna, that is Vishad Yoga. But if that Vishad takes you away from Krishna, because sometimes क्या होता है कि सिंपल हमारा माथा भी दुखता है तो हम लोग पहले चैंटिंग छोड़ देते हैं. Or sometimes we don't come to the association of devotees. Sometimes we, so you go away. So no, pain will be there. And दुनिया में आए हैं तो जीना ही पड़ेगा. दर्द सहना ही पड़ेगा प्रभु जी. So though it will come, but really whether you really take it to your heart, ये भी चला जाएगा. This will pass away. So that's the mentality and intention that you feel that okay, कुछ तकलीफ आई है मेरे पे, लेकिन वो चली जाएगी. या when you don't get consumed by that, tatyenu kampam shushamikshamaano. That's what Brahmaji says, that calamity will come, but whether you get consumed by calamity or not, that is your consciousness should be above the calamity. I hope. I don't know, other devotees can add, and obviously you yourself know everything, but I think it's a good thing to discuss.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
So there are some devotees who have raised their hand.
Yeah.
Yes, Shyamagauri
Shyamagauri Mataji,
Yeah.
Balanananda Prabhu
Wonderful.
first raised his
Wonderful
hand.
class, very enthusiastic class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. It was so nice, and thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you said pain will come, and in that pain also, devotees don't suffer. I heard many stories about the pure devotees like our Guru Maharaj. When he was somebody was telling that when he was given in anesthesia, and in anesthesia people talk something all the I have gone through that. They keep on talking. So Maharaj was telling the Krishna Katha in that. So this is how it should be. Yeah, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, Krishna gives pain to his devotees so that he can take shelter of him more and more. So, but still, Prabhuji, it's very difficult to understand when you are really in pain.
Definitely.
Especially in the mental situation, not the physical pain. We can understand that, oh, I have to go through this, and still we are chanting and this. But when something happens in our life which disturbs our mind, that's very difficult, Prabhuji, how to remember Krishna in that situation.
Thank you, Mataji, for your comment. Indeed, as I told you, that we understand dehinosmin yatha dehe, but dhiras tatra na muhyati. So basically, what happens that we really don't understand our real identity. So if we understand that we are the soul, then we will not suffer. But what happens? We sometimes acquire pseudo spiritual identity. So instead of acquiring the real spiritual identity, we acquire something known as spiritual, pseudo spiritual identity, or maybe let me call it like, his grace. Radha Gopinath Prabhu gave this term, very nice term, where he spoke. He said, we take up to spiritualized material identity. So we externally, we take things, but internally we are not really, strong. So if we can take ourselves internally very, very, strongly, then you will not suffer. Like, for example, as you rightly said, example of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, the medical science cannot really understand what's going through. So if somebody who actually just sees him from the medical point of view, he will get bewildered. That, oh, how come, meaning this person after having a stroke, how he can do so many things, he is traveling, and meaning see his enthusiasm level and all those things. It is impossible actually. But because he is not on a bodily platform, he is above that, and because of that, he doesn't suffer. So pain is there, definitely. It's not that, when they are giving him saline, they are giving him injection and all those things, the body must be paining. The body must be paining, definitely. So that's what I'm saying. It actually it's a long process, and we need to really understand. Till the time we have attachments, see, we have so many attachments. He's my husband, she's my wife, my children will save me, my guru will save me, everywhere we have our attachment. Until that time, the attachment are actually loosened up. Like, take example of Draupadi. Draupadi went to Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev. Then she went from Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya to Vidur. Everywhere she actually pleaded to Duryodhan, Dushasan, everybody for that matter. Nobody could help. And then she was holding sari with her own hand. Then she was holding in her teeth. Ultimately, she released everything. And he said, Govind. And at that time, when she released all her attachment, at that time, Krishna basically gave her, came to rescue her. So that's what basically we need to also understand, that ultimately we are going to leave this world. We are going to go away, and we have to go to Krishna. And whatever attachment we might have, we should pray to Krishna that before our life ends, all this attachment should be shivered off. That's what Kunti Maharani also prays. She says that shiver of my all attachment, Krishna, so that my mind, like Ganga comes, to the ocean. Let me come there. So easily said, Mataji, easily said, but very difficult to practice. But slowly we have to practice. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is nothing. Although at least good that theoretically we are understanding this. Psychologically we are trying to, emotionally we are trying to understand. But whether spiritually really we are understanding and able to, practice it in our life, it may happen by Krishna. That's what I'm saying, that whatever, we don't have any qualification. We just quoted this verse from Padyavali where Rup Goswami says, what was their qualification? No qualification. Of all these people whose name he quotes, Vyadaschaka, Acharan, Dhruvaschavaya, Vidya, Gajendraschaka, he says only one thing. It was only causeless mercy of Krishna. So we need to just plead for that causeless mercy. If that falls upon us, we are saved, we are rescued. Otherwise, we will be caught in the jaws of the crocodile of death.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful explanation. And the example of pregnant lady was very nice. Surgeons, they are like, give the so many things like it looks like, they have so much bhav and the things, but nothing is inside. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Perform.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu want to say something? He has raised his hand.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Bahur.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Rasamrita, Prabhuji, you have really make us taste the rasa of Srimad Bhagavatam today. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you made us really enjoy the Srimad Bhagavatam and the real Krishna Katha like that. The gist I got from your lecture was that, Turnam yatet na patedanu mrityu yavan sray visay sarvatra kalu syat labdhva sudurlabham bahu sambhavat. So, after long, we have got this human form of life. Now I put everything aside, Turunam Yatet. Immediately I take shelter of Sri Prabhupada and Guru and try to do bhakti like that. So this was really very nice. And regarding, the pain element in our life, this is inbuilt, the threefold miseries. Gata smruti tatra labde. Vindate tatra tapan. Rushabdev Maharaj says like that, that we have forgotten real identity. We are under illusion. And that's why we are subject to these threefold miseries like that. And I have given so many anesthesia myself to other patients, especially women, especially the women when they have the labor pains. We give the injection at the back, in the spinal cord, and like that. So pain is inbuilt in this life, and the only element is that pain is actually felt at the mental level. Body is okay there, but mental level is there. So even when we are testing patients clinically, we can know that his pain threshold is so high. So this Krishna consciousness is going to take us beyond the body. That's mentally, and then all the pain and other things will be kind of very little kind of effect on our chitta is in Bhagavan Krishna, like that. That's how it can help us to overcome all this kind of material pains and other things. But the real thing is Krishna Katha, as you have all this 1 hour you were speaking, we forgot everything and just enjoying that Rasamrita. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So
Prabhuji,
nice.
Rasamrita Prabhu is Apado Manas, Gujarati Manas, Apado Manas.
Haribo.
Apado.
Apado Manas.
We have practical example right in front of our eyes, Prabhuji. Like for example, when Govind, the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, went to Haridas Thakur and he said, "How are you?" He was actually not well, but he said, "My body is good, but my mind is not good." In his humility, he was saying. So everything is basically, like that only. So anyway, thank you for your kind words.
Somebody asked Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, "How are you?" I'm miserable, suffering the miserable material world. How can you ask, "How are you?"
True. I think Vrinda Gopika Mataji raised her hand. She wants to say something.
हरे कृष्णा रिस्पेक्टेड जी रास मित्रा प्रभु शिल प्रभुपाद शिल गुरुदेव की जय गोपीनाथ की जय। एक दिन में काउंसिलर नहीं बन जाते। आई हैव सीन रास मित्रा प्रभु जी फ्रॉम लास्ट 35 years in Radha Gopinath temple, attending the class and specially taking care of his respected Mahapapa. And even that Prabhuji's 2 kids are playing harmonium and bhajan, and Prabhuji is taking counseling meeting Bhakti Vriksha in Dubai. So बहुत सालों की मेहनत के बाद काउंसिलर बनते हैं. एंड आई नेवर फॉरगेट दैट वन टाइम वी आर इन Pune with Ajay Kishori and Ajay Siddham Prabhu. That time you played that drama. I forgot. Please forgive me. I never forget Prabhuji. Tears are going on from Kishori Mataji's eyes. So ये काउंसलिंग की मेहनत होती है. And Prabhuji, with your permission, can I add one point?
Yeah, please, Madhu. Please
Thank you, Prabhuji. When we came from before 15 years from Mumbai to Atlanta, that time last class is there is a 15 to 35 years old girls class. Radhanath Maharaj is taking class. Maharaj is saying, be positive. This shall also pass. So we have to write down everywhere our freeze or our working table or study table that this shall also pass. It's a 45-minute story, but I will try in a 2 minute. That one king has a so many saintly person come, and that king we welcoming them so nicely, and then one day somebody will take over his Rajya, and that saintly person is given a one ring, and he said that not to open what I write down in the ring. And then when he lost his Rajya, and then that Mantri told that please open the ring, and that king was opening the ring, and the write down that saintly person is be positive, this shall also pass. So Maharaj wants to say that so many obstacles came in our life, especially in the devotee life. But when more and more difficulties came in our life, we become more and more sincere in bhakti. That is the example that my 2 kids are coming in Gopinath from childhood, but maybe but after 12th standard they are little down, and now they are coming regularly by the Gopinath mercy. Even Prabhuji is not enter in temple 17-18 years, not in Gopinath but any temple, but he started to coming Shri Dwarkadhish and Sri Radha Gopinath and our Atlanta Paniyati Dham. So we need lots of patience to give a Krishna consciousness to first of our family and then outside people. We need lots of patience. I have seen G. Ram Prabhuji is here 14 years. Like Rasamrita Prabhuji, you are working hard in Dubai. G. Ram Prabhuji, G. Adhikar Prabhuji is working hard. 12 hours a day is not easy. He is a doctor. And then every day morning japa and bhajan and then Bhagavad Gita class and evening time Bhakti Vaibhav class. Before that Bhakti Sastri class. So lots of determination. You all counselor are working hard for all of us. Then only we become a ये बोलते हैं महाराज की 1000 ड्रॉप्स वो हमारा हमारे शरीर में जो ब्लड है तो एक डीओटी को बनाने के लिए 1000 ब्लड लगता है महाराज I never forget that words that be positive this shall also pass जो भी होता है वो अच्छे के लिए ही होता है हरि हरि गौरांगा can you please 2 minutes that drama I have seen before 19 years तुकाराम महाराज oh my god amazing प्रभुजी इसमें इतना determination था please हमें वो सुनाना
Mataji, east or west, Rasamrita Prabhu is the best.
Yes, Prabhuji. I know him from 29 years.
Such a loving
Thank you,
devotee.
Mataji, for your kind word. Just one small thing that I am actually not a counselor. I'm just a small, the congregation member still here trying to serve the devotees. But thank you for your kind words. And yes, that Tukaram drama was one of the highlight of my life also, where we did it in Dehu originally, in the birthplace of Sant Tukaram in near Pune, and then we did in Pandipur also, where you would have seen this drama. And yes,
which year, Prabhu? Which year?
25 years back. Long back. Long time. Around 22 years or so, we did this drama, and so it was really a highlight of many devotees. Many devotees were crying, as she said. Kishori Mataji was crying. I saw Sri Ram Prabhu also crying in that drama, and many others. So anyway, it is all God's mercy and Sant Tukaram Maharaj's blessings. He is a great personality.
उसका वीडियो है प्रभु, उसका वीडियो है कुछ देखने के लिए?
Not really, Prabhu. उस टाइम का ओरिजिनल रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं, उसके बाद मैंने किया था, उसका है, that I will send you. That is small
please,
clip.
Prabhu, please.
But anyway, thank you so much. So all the devotees, I'm
Yes,
sure,
Prabhuji, I would. Yeah, Hare Krishna. I have heard so many glories about these dramas, and I would like to share this on our group.
Jai.
The drama.
I will send it to you, Mataji. I will send it the link to you. You can distribute to devotees.
Yes.
I have uploaded on my channel.
Thank you so much.
Please send me, Prabhu. Please.
I would just 1 second. My mother is here. She wasn't well. She was actually admitted in the hospital last week, but now she's here. Okay. She just want to say Hare Krishna to devotees. So
Hare Krishna Mataji, कैसे हो?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
बहुत दिन हो गए आपके मिलके।
Hare Krishna.
दंडवत
प्रणाम माताजी।
माताजी को घर में मिला, घर में मिला, आपका आशीर्वाद चाहिए माताजी, सबको आशीर्वाद दीजिए।
यस माताजी, सबको आशीर्वाद दीजिए माताजी, सबको ब्लेसिंग्स।
कितना अच्छा लड़का, कितना अच्छा लड़का आपने बनाया रसामृत।
भगवान हरे कृष्णा, चिरंजीव हो, विजय भव, आयुष्मान भव, ऐसे हो, खूब भगवान कृष्ण भगवान भक्ति दे आपको, खूब शक्ति दे, खूब लंबी उम्र दे भगवान। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, शुक्रिया माताजी।
दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी।
Prabhuji, do you mind to show us the little bit? The altar was very good when you're bringing here.
अब लोक माता हो।
Picture was whose picture, Prabhuji? Guru Maharaj picture. That was so nice. I just want to see that.
That is outside. It is not actually.
Oh, beautiful. Prabhuji, please can you show it again?
I'll just show you. 1 second, please.
Very
beautiful.
राधानाथ महाराज की जय हो।
राधानाथ महाराज की जय।
Very cute, right?
Very cute.
राधे राधे।
We have very special Patit Pavan Jagannath Ji in our house. And this Jagannath Ji, you can also see Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj's picture here. But Jagannath Ji is a very special here because this particular form of Jagannath is actually in the marble form. I had never seen marble Jagannath ji in my life, and this Jagannath ji is so heavy that you require 4 people to lift him. Otherwise, he will not get lifted. Mahabhari Thakur. So somehow or other, this actually came to me, and let me very quickly open the altar because already time is there.
I've seen this Jagannath 20 years back in your house.
Our Jagannath ji, they are from Sri Jagannath Puri Dham.
Jai Jagannath Gurudev Subhadra ki jai.
Jai ho!
Jai ho! Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
Radha
Radhe.
Gopinath here, and this Jagannath. I hope you are able to see because
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Jagannath Gurudev Subhadra, we have Bhagavata from Sri Ekshakra Dham.
Jai.
Simple humble altar here.
बड़े आपका घर में मैं आया हूँ. I seen the altar that time 20 years back. Jai ho. Super.
Thank you so much. I think I took a lot of your time today, but this is my first time getting engaged with the devotees of Bhakti Sangha conference.
Jai.
Please keep me in your prayers. Keep
Thank
for
you
me.
for the
And
darshan,
let's
Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Mataji,
Very
keep calling him
beautiful
every
yeah.
month once. Rasamrita Prabhu.
Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, whenever you call, I will try to come and serve. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We all love you so much,
Would
Prabhu.
like to
We all
offer-
love you so much. Rasamrita Prabhu.
Thank
We
you so
would
much,
like to
Prabhuji.
offer our obeisances.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Vanchakalpatarubhayasya
Krishna Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo
पावनेभ्यो
Namaha.
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
Vaishnavrind ki jai.
Jai.
जय 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 हरे
Radhe
कृष्ण
Radhe.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Rasamrita Prabhu ki jai ho.
Ki
Jai.
jai.
Radhe Radhe.
Gauranga.
Radhe Radhe.
Nityananda.
Radhe
Nityananda,
Radhe.
closing the call. Hari Hari
Nityananda.
Bol.
Gauranga.
Radhe.